Given the existence as uttered forth in the public works of Puncher and Watchman of a personal God, qua, 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 with white beard, qua, 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 outside time, without extension, who from the heights of divine apatheia, divine athambia, divine aphasia, loves us dearly, with some exceptions, for reasons unknown, but time will tell, and suffers like the divine Miranda with those who, for reasons unknown, but time will tell, are plunged in torment, plunged in fire, whose fire flames, if that continues, and who can doubt it? Will fire the firmament, that is to say, blast heaven to hell, so blue, still, and calm, so calm with a calm, which even though intermittent, is better than nothing, but not so fast, and considering what is more, that as a result of the labors left unfinished, crowned by academy of anthropopatemy of Essie and Posse, of Testu and Canard, it is established beyond all doubt, all other doubt, then that which clings to the labors of men, that as a result of the labors unfinished of Testu and Canard, it is established as hereinafter, but not so fast, for reasons unknown, that as a result of the public works of Puncher and Watman, it is established beyond all doubt that in view of the labors of Fartov and Belcher left unfinished, for reasons unknown of Testu and Canard left unfinished, it is established what many deny, that man in Posse of Testu and Canard, that man in Essie, that man in short, that man in brief, in spite of the strides of alimentation and defecation, is seen to waste and pining concurrently, simultaneously. What is more, for reasons unknown, in spite of the strides of physical culture, the practice of sports such as tennis, football, running, cycling, swimming, flying, floating, riding, gliding, canoeing, country skating, tennis of all kinds, dying, flying, sports of all sorts, autumn, summer, winter tennis of all kinds, hockey of all sorts, penicillin, and psychedelia. In a word, I resume, and concurrently, simultaneously, for reasons unknown, to shrink and dwindle. In spite of the tennis, I resume, flying, gliding, golf, over 9 and 18 holes, tennis of all sorts. In a word, for reasons unknown, in Peckham, Fulham, Clapham, named concurrently, simultaneously, what is more, for reasons unknown. But time will tell. To shrink and dwindle, I resume, Fulham, Clapham, in a word, the dead loss per head, since the death of Bishop Berkeley, being to the tune of 1 inch, 4 inch per head, approximately by and large, more or less, to the nearest decimal, good measure, round figure, stark naked in the stockinged feet, in Connemara, in a word, for reasons unknown, no matter what matter, the facts are there, and considering what is more, much more grave, than in the light of the labors lost of Steinweg and Peterman, it appears what is lost of Steinweg and Peterman, that in the plains, in the mountains, by the seas, by the rivers, running water, running fire, the air is the same. And then the earth, namely the air, and then the earth in the great cold, the great dark, the air, and the earth abode of stones in the great cold. Alas, alas, in the year of their Lord 600 and something, the air, the earth, the sea, the earth abode of stones in the great deeps of the great cold, on sea, on land, and in the air. I resume, for reasons unknown, in spite of the tennis, the facts are there, but time will tell. I resume. Alas, alas, in short, on abode of stones. Who can doubt it? I resume, but not so fast. I resume the skull to shrink and waste, and concurrently, simultaneously. What is more, for reasons unknown, in spite of the tennis, on the beard, the flames, the tears, the stones, so blue, so calm. Alas, alas, on the skull, in Connemara. In spite of the tennis, the labors abandoned, left unfinished, graver still, abode of stones. In a word, I resume. Alas, alas, abandoned, unfinished, the skull in Connemara. In spite of the tennis, the skull, alas, the stones, Canard, tennis, the stones, so calm, Canard, unfinished.